Good morning. I was going to share with you guys a metaphor to really help you know how to identify the source of a problem that is all encompassing in your life. So oftentimes if you look at something that keeps showing up over and over and over again, like if you have trust relationship issues or they'd often, like, for example, bad example, if you have a hard time trusting relationships, you probably also have a hard time trusting your parents, trusting your siblings, trusting yourself, trusting God, trusting that things will go well, trusting the future, trusting life. Um, so look at one of the core things that has shown up for you a lot of times. If you have anger issues, you're probably you have anger, like when you're driving in the car, you have anger when you're having to wait in line, you have anger towards your parents, towards, again, God, like all of those things. And a really easy way to notice one of the problems that probably comes up over and over and again in your life is just notice what's causing you the most suffering right now externally, not on the inside. So is it a relationship? Is it a job? Is it something happening in like a community type place? And whatever that situation is, what is the feeling that it brings to you? Does it make you angry, sad, nervous, confused, whatever it is? And this should be a problem that is really like relevant in your life. Like you can feel it. It's not just like, well, yeah, this kind of thing but bugs me. And then that to just be aware that that is the place that that problem is manifesting. But if it is something that is weighing so heavy on you emotionally or in your thoughts or mind or in your life, then there's a really good chance that it has a bigger source at the bottom that is actually the problem, and that that's just a little place where the leak is coming out. So if you think about like a house, and let's say there was a leak happening in your house, you maybe would first hear something like, I feel like I keep hearing something in the house. And then maybe you would even feel like you smell something, like something just kind of smells off. But you wouldn't be exactly sure, like, where is it coming from? Maybe you're walking somewhere and it feels like wet, like on your body. You're like, but you don't know. But until all of a sudden water is like pouring out of somewhere, out of the ceiling or coming up from somewhere, or coming out of somewhere, then you would be like, oh my gosh, there's a leak. And then all those other things would start making sense. So that is what I'm talking about. Usually the biggest problems in our life, they are just the place where a deeper root problem is manifesting out. And it's easier to put all of your kind of effort and emotion and thought and story into that specific leak that you can see. And the sad thing is, because that's not the root of the problem, that would be just like continually mopping up that leak in your house. So you're just like always like going, getting rags, like mopping up, but every single day you have to mop it up. And you're like, why will this not go away? Well, you need to get to the root of the leak. And so to find the root of the problem, you have to go deeper. And the first step of that is being aware that this problem has something beneath it. And so you can ask yourself that, like, okay, I'm angry in this situation. Is anger something like I struggle with other places, even if I suppress it, like I feel it? And if the answer is no, like if your body feels no, then maybe you're not either ready to look at it yet, or maybe it's not a deeper problem and it really is just that one area. If the answer is yes, then there's two things that could happen. You could feel like, that's interesting, like I'm curious about that and I want to look at it, and then we'll keep going. Or you could be like, like your whole body like locks up and you're like, I do not want to look at that. And that's okay. Like you don't have to look at it, but even just being aware that there is a lower problem can be kind of relieving for that one specific thing, because then it's not that this one specific thing keeps happening over and over again and I can't fix it. So there's something deeper going on and I'm going to look at it when I'm ready. I think sometimes with deeper work, it can be scary to even want to acknowledge, because then you think you have to do something, but you don't always have to do something right away. Sometimes it's just being aware and then putting that intention out there of like, I think the right moment will come when I am ready to look at that or dive into it. And until then, it's okay. I'm just going to be aware that this is just like the one place where I can see the problem manifesting, but it's not even really about that. And that can kind of relieve some of the pressure. Like if you're looking at that metaphor, it's like just noticing, oh my gosh, there's actually a leak way deeper down, that can almost make the leak like just start dripping a little slower. And then if you are feeling like you're ready to kind of look at it, then you would just want to, when you're somewhere by yourself and you have time, think about that problem. How does it make me think? So like let your mind go. Like, let's look at the problem of trust. I don't trust this person. I don't believe what they're saying, and I'm in a relationship with them. How does it feel when I don't trust this person? And then start to just notice, do I feel this other places, this feeling in my body? I do. I have it with my parents. I have it with myself. I have it with God. I have it with trying to make choices. I have it with other relationships. What is the story I tell myself? I can't trust anyone. See, they always like disappoint me. See, when I make a choice, then it doesn't go right. I can't trust God. Every time I try and pray, I don't hear anything. Like God never shows up. I can go back in my life and look at every single time that I've tried to have some faith or believe in something bigger than me, and it doesn't go well. So just listen to your story and then go into that feeling of your body. So mind, body. Body, it would be like, oh, it makes me feel like I can't breathe very good. It makes my heart go like this. It makes me feel like tight right here. It makes my stomach right here feel really butterfly. It makes me have a low backache. It makes my head hurt. And then emotion. What is the emotion that comes up? I feel nervous. I feel sad. I feel depleted. I feel depressed. I feel angry. I feel confused. And then, so right now you've gone to mind, you've gone to how does it feel in the body, the physical body. And then how does the emotion feel? And then what does it make you want to do? What's like the behavior that you want to take, the action? Does it make you want to scream? Does it make you want to punch someone? Does it make you want to just give up? Does it make you want to like feel bad for yourself, like call a friend and be like, listen to me? And you're just noticing all these things. You're not judging it. And then the last one is an image. It can be really helpful for our minds to, that's kind of, I talked about dreams yesterday on here, and I think that's why dreams are so powerful, is because our minds have this part of it that's kind of that meditative, more relaxed part. And I think it's very part of our third eye, which is kind of not our minds, but it's like up here. It's really creative and imaginative, and it can be really helpful to see this problem more in an image than in like an actual like it just kind of use your imagination a little bit. So do you see a texture when you think about this trust? Do you see like a black tar like all over your body? Or do you see some sort of animal? Like maybe you see like a scared little bunny like shaking, and just noticing it. And this part of investigating this bigger leak problem is to help you get more comfortable with the discomfort. And there is actually is it called an acronym when there's like the letters that help you remember it? And it's called SIBAM. I learned this at a really cool yoga and self-help retreat. And it really reminded me of what I do in my cranial sacral therapy sessions with people. Is it's just helping you go into your body and feel it and expand the time that you are able to stay in that feeling. Because once you've located the issue, the leak, you've acknowledged that there's something deeper happening down under, and you've expanded your ability, that's 3, not 4, you've expanded your ability to be uncomfortable and to stay there. That's huge progress right there. And there's still no action that you have to take. There's nothing that you like have to do or change your life or like start going to a therapist. It's all just those 3 things are huge. And the more you start to expand your ability to sit with that, it kind of helps you separate from it. It's like, oh my gosh, this isn't just actual capital T true. This is a way I'm experiencing life, and it's coming up over and over and over again. And then a really beautiful way and good way to see the root of it is to go into either your root beliefs, which is like those feelings that come down low in your hips, or your kind of crown. In the yoga tradition, it's called the crown chakra, which is like, it's an energy center, but it's at the top of your head, and it's where you hold all your stories of kind of what you feel like God, the universe, that bigger light, does for you or doesn't do for you. And oftentimes how you feel about your mom and dad is how you feel about God. And so like if you feel super supported by your mom and dad, then you feel super supported. So like I had a mom and dad who super supported me when I was a child. I felt very loved and good enough from them. However, there was a piece where early on I was a middle child and I watched my siblings and I thought, okay, this is what I do, this is what I don't do, this is what I do, this is what I don't do. So I got really good at trying to be really perfect. And I confused the way my parents loved me, which was just a really beautiful love. As a little girl, I thought, well, they love me so much because I'm such a good girl. And so I have taken that my whole life of like, oh, I get love when I'm really good. And then that same thing goes to God. So, oh, God really loves me. Of course, God loves me. God's there for me. God answers my questions. But when I get really deep, so I have a problem that shows up over and over and over again in my life of if I'm not really, if someone thinks I'm doing something wrong or bad, it's so hard for me. Like I get so defensive, mad, sad. I can't look at it. It scares me, everything. I feel so like triggered. But really all that's happening is I'm thinking if I did something bad, then they're not going to love me. Because that's what I taught myself. That's not what anyone else necessarily taught me. That's what I taught myself when I was younger. And so that same thing happens with God. It's like I'm kind of earning God's love by how I'm acting. And so if I feel like I'm not doing everything perfect in life, then I can easily think, oh, like I probably don't deserve to really get help from God right now because like I could be better. Like, and I have to reach this far for God to reach to me. And when I really, really think about it, I don't believe that, but that's like in me. And so you can see how a fight with my husband would make me, it's really easy to locate that leak. Like the fight with the husband is the leak and I'm like mopping up and I'm mad and I'm able to like blame it. Like, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? I'm so mad. But like, if I really get still and I start practicing, what does this feel like in my body? What's the story? Is this showing up in other areas of my life? Oh yeah, it shows up in almost every single one of my relationships and how I move through life and how I'm trying to prove myself. Does this show up for God? Oh yeah. If I'm not perfect, I feel like maybe God doesn't like love me or support me. And that archetype of God is really important. Even if you don't believe in God, just like feeling into that idea of God is something really powerful for your body because it helps you learn more about yourself. So if we're going back to this trust issue, after you practice a few times, what does it feel like? And go through that sabam of the story in your head, how it feels in your body, the emotion it brings, what it makes you want to do, and the image, then you could take it to either your inner child, which would be like, how did this show up in my childhood? Either I taught myself this, or if you had a hard childhood or hard stuff happened to you, how was this taught to me? And then you also could take it to, does this also show up in my relationship with God? And oftentimes it's like really scary for us to think of God. If you do have a faith in God or you don't, it's kind of beside the point. The point is to just imagine that you do have a God, that you have a faith, that you believe in God, and what would be around this issue. So if we're talking about trust, just for this example, like, why would you not trust God? And like, let yourself sit with that for a minute. Like, I don't trust God because, and if nothing comes to you, just keep sitting. I don't trust God because, I don't trust God because, and like, even me saying that right now, there's like parts of me that have that in me. And I can feel like an emotion arising. I can feel my heart and even my eyes feeling like a little like, oh, I don't trust God because, and my mind would want to go to a past thing that has happened. I don't trust God because I really reached out for God in this hard time of my life and I didn't feel anything. And then just sit with that. And then you can let yourself, like, if you want to be sad, you can let yourself cry. If you want to be mad, you can like put your hands on the earth and kind of yell at God, like, why weren't you there for me? And just let it out, let it out. Whatever the emotion is, just let it out. And then be still. And oftentimes when you let the emotion out, a lot of emotion at the end of the day is like fear and grief. And grief is really powerful because when you let that grief out of just like, oh, like, I wish I were different. I wish things had been different. I wish this didn't happen. I wish I didn't think this way. When you let that out, afterwards, there's like It's almost like when you work out super, super hard and then afterwards you're just like, oh, I'm so relaxed. It's that kind of a feeling. Like you do this really hard thing and then your body's just kind of like really still and calm and quiet. And right there, stay there. That's where you can hear a different answer. And you can see, oh my gosh, like I have trusted myself in these situations and look at the good that came. Or, oh wow, I see how this person actually really was trustworthy. This person wasn't, but I can see that there have been people in my life that I trust. Or maybe I don't trust because this person's never given me a reason to, and I think I need to end this relationship. Like then you might hear some sort of action, but it's going to come from a peaceful place, not from this like of emotion and story and wanting to just like do something to get it out. It's a much more peaceful. So, oh my goodness, this was kind of long, but I hope that helps. And if you have more questions, you can comment. I've been kind of starting to be curious if it could be fun for me to get to know a little bit more about some of the people that follow and comment. And it's just the thing I love so much about yoga and teaching yoga is because I don't feel like, oh, like I'm this authority in the room. I feel like, oh my gosh, isn't it amazing to be in community with people and to be practicing something together and communicating and learning from the people that come to my classes is just like such a gift to me. And I would love to share that with you all as well. So thanks for following. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have just the best day. I hope you feel supported, loved. By listening to this video. And I think I would also say, like, if we were having a conversation and we were going through this together and I was helping you either as a cranial sacral client or just a friend, I would always, always, always be searching for why your experience makes sense. Like, if I were you, I would feel that way too. And that can feel really relieving. Like, who you are and the way you feel and the way you process and the way you move through life, it makes sense because of everything that you've been through and what you've been taught and what you learned as a child. So you make sense and you're okay just as you are. I hope you have the best day. Peace.